So before I left for Senegal, I wanted to do a quick, like, behind the scenes, like, here's what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing it, so that you guys can understand what it takes to pull off this kind of job. Lots and lots and lots of stuff, but had to be super compact so I can be efficient because I was flying solo, or I have been flying solo this job. So I'm going to walk you guys through what I brought here, why I brought it, and so on. Give you guys kind of a talk through. First bag is the bag that kind of stayed with the car the whole time. This bag is great. It's the Think Tank Photo Airport International version 2. I love this bag. It's great. I've had this thing since like 2012, 2011, something in there. Been to Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand, Burkina Faso, Mali, you name it, it's gone places. And this thing is a tank and looks great still. Highly recommend this bag. Inside this bag, and this bag's also stayed by the car the whole time. A lot of times we were actually working near the car and then would randomly shoot off. That's where the backpack came in. So in this bag, in the top, we've got the Sony 7200 2.8, which is on loan from Sony. And then we've got the Rode Video Mic Pro Rycote, which is a great microphone. I really like the sound on this one. And then over here we've got other attachments, but I actually happened to forget the microphone for that, which was my Rode NTG4, which is where I had to do a little workaround. Always triple check your gear. Then we've got the Sony 90mm macro. This is an amazing lens for some nice detail shots. Up here we got the DJI Mavic, which fantastic little drone, allows me to be able to get some really unique establishing shots and showcase just how remote we are in a lot of these locations. And then over in this main compartment, we've got the Sennheiser G3s in a Tenba little case. I think it's like the Duo or something. I love these bags for like wireless and stuff like that because nice and compact and I can keep everything right in one spot. Then in here we've also got the Sony FS5 broken down because we're leaving tomorrow with a spare variable ND filter for the A7s. Love this setup. This is great for run and gun, being able to get what I need, mixed to some super slow motion, which we're able to do a little bit. Then we've got the 18-105 servo, which is great on the FS5 for how small it is. I wish it was a little sharper, but it is what it is for how small it is. Batteries, Giotto's blower, the whole 9 yards for all the accessories around the FS5. In the lid, we've got SD cards, lens cleaning cloths, Allen wrenches, and micro SDs for the DJI Mavic. Also, we've got a XLR to 3.5mm adapter, which came in clutch because I did forget that NTG4 Plus. Then I also use Peak Design on all my cameras, including the FS5. So you'll see in behind the scenes photos of me using the Peak Design straps. I've got a few different ones that I've used. Over here we've got the F-Stop Gear Lotus, which is one of my new favorite little backpacks. I took one of their bigger ones to Congo, but I needed to be a little more compact myself this time because I was flying alone and didn't have someone else to share some of the gear. So we went smaller. We got the large ICU inside. Up in the top was where I was keeping laptop. You can see the laptop sleeve right there. Micro or small Manfrotto tripod, which is what I use, the RX100, which is what I'm shooting this on. Then the cables and stuff for the laptop all just kind of stayed right in here. Battery, USB battery for charging while we're out in the field as needed. Inside the main compartment, this is like the gear I needed no matter what to be able to pull off what we needed. So 550 paracord is like my favorite thing in the world to always have on hand, along with gaff tape. That always stays in the bag. I also had my headlamp stashed in this pocket. That stuff always comes in handy because you never know when you're going to get stuck out in the field in dark. Then right below that we've got my A7S II with the Rokinon 85 at the moment, but normally this had the 16-35 from Sony, and that's the F4, which was my main glide cam lens. Really helped get some nice motion shots while we were out in the field. Then we've got the A7R2 and 24 to 72.8 from Sony on loan, which I fell in love with this camera. I could literally just like hold on to this and be very content. But this will actually be going back to Sony Monday, sadly, but I'm probably going to have to pick up the 3 for my stills camera and make the full switch over from Nikon now. Rokinon 35mm, Rokinon 24mm. These are the Cine DS lenses, all the Rokinon ones, which are great for getting that nice shallow depth of field. They're T15, which is super nice and shallow. Then in this bottom, I've got 2 more variable ND filters, 172mm, 177mm for the different lenses. More SD cards. Video micro from Rode, which is what I had on the A7S while I was on the glide cam. Then you've got a mix of A7 and RX100 batteries. So this was kind of what I shot on the whole time. The 24 to 70 or the 70 to 200 is what I shot all of my stills on pretty much. Great lenses. I can't believe how sharp they are. I love it. Then coming over here, we've got the stabilizers. I always carry a pack of wet ones because you never know when you're going to have to clean something, especially when it's dusty and how dusty things get. Again, always have gaff tape. And then for stabilization and stuff, we had the Devon Supertramp Glide Cam. Normally I would try and bring my Ronin, but with this trip, I needed something that didn't have batteries because I didn't know what my charging abilities would be, along with I needed something that I could more quickly set up and set down and so on and so forth, and this just was the right move to make for this job. Me Photo Road Trip, I love this thing. I've had this thing for probably 5 years, and it's super small, a little heavier because it's aluminum, but it is what it is. And then I've got my Sirui carbon fiber legs with level ball and Manfrotto MVH 500 head for video, and this was great. Still compact, but still is able to hold a good bit of weight that can hold the FS5 with no problem, and also make for some nice smooth pants. Then lastly, I brought this little Delkin suction cup, which made getting some nice driving shots. I put the RX100 5 onto this in the car going out the front windshield, and it made for some great like track rolling shots down roads and so on and so forth. Yeah, so that's what I brought in a nutshell. I did bring a reflector and a couple other things for different specific situations that we ran into, but this is what got the job done, and I am super happy with how the Sonys worked given the circumstances and the situation with the heat. I could not have asked for a more efficient workflow. Being able to shoot with the log and stuff, S-Log 2, whenever I needed to, and switch between cameras and have all my cameras buttons and such be the exact same. So it was easy to bounce between cameras, stills, video, and so on and so forth. I did shoot some video on the A7R2. I did shoot a lot of video on the A7S2. Most of my stills were A7R2. Most video was A7S2. FS5 was done for a lot of like interviews and then like handheld, that kind of stuff. When I was shooting the video, the A7S really stayed on the glide cam the whole time, so that was huge. Yeah. So that's it. That's my bags. Yeah, over now.